Already today's the challenge to cache stealth, no safe cracking, no hybrid classes, and reinforced cameras. It's no safe cracking, so you've got a drill, but it's no hybrid classes and reinforced cameras, which means that generally we might have a case where we're not actually able to just disable the cameras by hacking them if we want anything decent, such as being able to lockpick. And even though we could just drill, that's not always the best idea, so instead we're just going to go all the way over here, and then afterwards awkwardly try and find out what's happening. So the cameras are over there, but the room that we actually want to go into is all the way over there, so we're just going to run across and essentially just, well, wait for the guards to not be problematic before we go inside. And I mean, the screwdriver's over there, which is great and all, it's just that it's not very, very useful right now, so as we get this lock picked open, we're just going to have the cameras be hacked, and then afterwards we're just going to, well, look at the cameras. So once we feel relatively confident that, never mind then. I mean, I suppose I could go in right now, it's just that it's maybe not the best idea, so we could just wait and it's going to go perfectly fine, and well, right now seems like an absolutely perfect time, so hopefully no one walks in on me because that would be rather awkward. And now that we're done with that, we're just gonna run back through here, and now we just have to find a guard to, well, lure. Since the really main things about this is just having to use the drill later on, and then afterwards just having generally rather problematic cameras, which we don't actually have right now, so maybe you just have a keycard, that would be absolutely fantastic. It'll be, you do have a keycard. Right then, sure. So, now that we have lured someone, or is that door just open? It is not open, which means that the guard does in fact actually have a keycard, which is not all that important, it's just that it's generally quite interesting, which is not actually all that bad of a thing. So, as we awkwardly wait for the guard to come all the way over here and get off the radio before getting off the radio and turning around, and then hopefully standing behind quite literally anything that won't be seen from the inside, we can then knock him out and then hope for the best, which, keep walking, it's not all that complicated. And once you're over there, you can get off the radio, which would be quite nice. And then afterwards you could just get down. And while this is maybe not the best place, you know what, that makes things easier, sure. So we'll grab the disguise, and then afterwards, Cyber will presumably bag him up. And then we'll just go inside, and things should be, well, so far things have been relatively easy. So we're just gonna go in through here now. And then afterwards, just visit the screwdriver over there, and then afterwards grab the screwdriver over there, which, so far maybe not really fond of meeting any guards right now, which is fine. We're just going to go the long way and it's gonna work out just fine. So, if you could, right then, since we have absolutely nothing to do, we could just get this open over here, and then afterwards just continue waiting. So if you could just walk literally anywhere else, that would be very much appreciated, so that I could go over here and then get this lock picked open without hopefully getting seen, since that's not all that great of a thing. So as we go inside over here, we're gonna wait for that guard to pass by, and then we're gonna go over here, grab it over here, and then very swiftly get out of here, because we are trespassing in there, and that's not really a great thing. So for now we're gonna go upstairs, and then we're just gonna go through here. We will avoid getting caught since there are 3 guards over here now, and that's only slightly terrifying. Before we, first of all, ignore that over there, since there's absolutely no utility to that. And then afterwards, once the guard's gone, finally go over here and get this open. Now, this is maybe not the best order of doing things, but it works, and well, the basement only has 2 guards now, which is kind of a good thing, so we'll leave it at that. And then hopefully the basement won't be all that difficult to take care of, since it's practically clear for all intents and purposes, since there are now less guards than there normally would be. Now, it's not anywhere close to being clear, but at this point it really might as well be, since the other alternative is that the other guard's down as well, so even though it could technically be possible, it's just not really all that viable. So we'll just cut it over there. We'll break line of sight by just awkwardly, well, that's maybe not how it's supposed to be done, but if you could just turn around now, that would be generally a good thing, or we could... Sure. Right then, so all you need to do is just walk in. I'm going a long way around. So, whilst the guards are literally anywhere else, we're gonna get this lock picked open, and then afterwards, we're just going to awkwardly wait in the stairwell for the remaining guards to show up, which might not seem all that great, but it's certainly gonna work out just fine. So, we're gonna wait over here, we're gonna make use of the cameras, and then we'll just see what's happening, well, literally anywhere else, which, for a start, someone's disabling that, or resetting that, and then we can just look at where the other guards go. And maybe, just maybe, they're all gonna go downstairs and that'll be absolutely fantastic. Well, that's not exactly what we asked for, but I suppose we could work with that, and we could just go upstairs right now. And even though there are guards about, we could just... That door did not just get slammed on me. Right then, you over here. There is this spot I would quite like you to go to. And then afterwards put your hands up so that I can answer the radio. And then hopefully not have a guard walk right in front of me right now, because that will be quite bad. So, whilst we're at that, we're just going to answer the radio over there. We're going to have you move all the way into this corner. And then we're going to quickly knock you out, bag you up. That is a comparatively questionable ragdoll, but we should be fine. So, now that that's clear, we're just going to hop over here. Go in over here because we're absolutely paranoid, and then afterwards go back through here, which is not necessary at all, but it's what we're going to do, and it's going to work out just fine, so that's what we're going to do. But now ideally we have a drill, since we don't actually have one right now, so we're gonna have to slowly walk outside, or alternatively, quickly run in the shortest route out over here. That was a terrifying amount of detection, but we're gonna make do with that since we're still doing just fine. And then we're going to hopefully not anger the guard over there, because that would be quite terrifying to say the least. And seemingly Cyber should... Well, Cyber should in theory give me the drill, since it is no hyperclasses. I've got an absurd amount of overdrill, which is rather comedic since that's not generally how this works. And now Cyber presumably gets anywhere but over here, since it is cash, and cash is rather terrifying in terms of detection. We're going to get this road open in a relatively short amount of time, so once we're done with that, we're going to look out for any guards, we're going to grab the USB, then we're going to hopefully not get caught on the way out, which so far is very much successful. So we're just going to go over here, we're going to use the USB over here, and then afterwards we're going to, well, take the expedited route. We're going to take the expedited route downstairs, which is practically just that, before we sprint right out through here. And after that, even though Cyber's holding a shotgun, do not turn that at me. That's the daily challenge starting just over 8 minutes. Cheers everyone, have a great time.